It has been so long since I picked up this camera. Like 2 weeks. After Joey left, I was just in a mindset of like really enjoying myself here and like embracing my last couple weeks in the city. So I just forgot that I was doing this filming thing. But it is my last weekend in the city for now. I mentioned in previous vlogs that I was interviewing for a job here, and I actually got the position, which I'm so excited about. It is the perfect job for me, and I put a lot of effort into the whole interview process, and it's been months in the making, so I just feel very proud of myself right now. And with that being said, the job is based out of New York or London, England, so dependent on visa situation, I will be moving to one of those cities in a month from now, which is just insane. I don't know how this is my life right now, but I hope to keep these videos up because that will all be a fun process to document. As of now, today was my last day of my internship, which it went by so fast. Like, I don't know how time moves in this city. But it's now Friday afternoon. I was working from home today and wrapped up all my last assignments and projects. So now I guess I'm just done. I decided to change into my bathing suit and I'm going to go to Washington Square Park, brought my book, gonna lay out a towel and just enjoy the sun today because it is like 28 degrees, low humidity, not a single cloud in the sky. And that is something that I love doing, like just have a quiet, chill Friday afternoon at the park before what's probably going to be a pretty crazy last weekend in the city for now. So yeah, I will take you along with me and I'll try to document as much of this weekend as I possibly can because I want to have one last vlog to wrap everything up. Also, don't judge my modes of skin protection. I have like 60 SPF on my face and I'm wearing a bucket hat. I personally think it's cute, so don't come at me for it. And in the long run, protects from wrinkles. So there you go. I was at the park for like 3 hours. I have that like sun exhaustion, you know, when you just like lay out, and I feel very calm. I definitely needed the vitamin D, but now where I was at Washington Square Park, and that was about halfway to Chelsea Market from where I am, and I figured I'd stop by and check out to see if I can get a new phone case because mine is like, you can't even tell, but it's really beat up. And on my way there, I'm walking through West Village and trying really hard not to get a grilled cheese sandwich from Murray's Cheese Malt, because it's literally, you guys know, it's my favorite place. But there's so many food vendors at Chelsea Market and healthier options, so I feel like that might be the best bet. Before I had time to set the camera up, I literally downed that taco so fast. It's the same like fish taco place I went to my first day here. So good. I went to Chelsea Market for a phone case, which I did get, a lime green one, but I also came back spending $250 on designer clothes. That was not planned, but they were having this huge sale of like designer clothes, I guess, and it was a really weird concept. You had to leave like your phone, your bag, all of your belongings at the front of the store, and then you like walk through, everything was priced the same. It was like dresses were $35, bikinis were 20 bucks, and I kind of went crazy. And the change room too, it wasn't like stalls, it was just like a curtain and then like half the store that girls were just like around. That's I guess why you can't have your phone, because they don't want you taking pictures of other girls, but there was no like privacy there, which was interesting. But I got some really cute stuff. I ended up getting 3 dresses and 2 bikinis, so for the amount of money I spent, I think that's very justifiable. I haven't really done much shopping in New York or treated myself in that way, and that's kind of a staple of being here, is all the shopping. So I'm happy with my purchases. And now I'm just walking back to my apartment because I am getting drinks after work with a guy who I used to work with back in Calgary at the back shop of a golf course, and he recently moved out here for work as well. So we're gonna meet up for a drink, catch up a little bit, and that'll be super fun. I was so bad yesterday. I went out for drinks after work that ended up turning into me being out till 1:30 in the morning. So I didn't bring my camera with me. I didn't remember to film any of it. It was a very long night, but I had so much fun. I had a friend in from, well, I didn't have a friend in. A friend from Calgary moved here, so we were able to catch up, and that was super nice. Got bagels this morning, and now I'm heading out to get more piercings. I'm so excited. I've wanted more ear piercings forever, but I haven't had the guts to like actually go through with it. And all my girlfriends here have like a bunch of ear piercings. So I'm going today, gonna do that. It's gonna be fun. Sorry if you can hear background noise. I have my washer dryer going, but I wasn't allowed to film in the piercing place, but I got 2 new piercings. I love them. I think they look so good. I've wanted more piercings for so long, and like along cartilage, so I have like 3 on this side, and I also got another earring here, like a little star. And so I thought it was a good balance, like the 3 down here and then like more up here. But yeah, I went to Stud. They were amazing, honestly. It was like 5 seconds in and out, did not hurt at all. I'm actually doing back-to-back dates tonight, so I'm going out right now to go mini golfing on the pier with one of the guys that I have known since my first week here. That'll be super fun. And then I haven't really seen him much, like this will be like our 3rd date, but I ran into him at a bar last weekend with girls, so we just like started talking again, and we decided to go mini golfing. And then tonight, for my last night here, one of the guys that I've been pretty consistently seeing, that I've mentioned in these vlogs, I have a very big crush on. I don't really know what's gonna happen with that in the future, my visa and all that, but as of now, this is like my last weekend here, so we're gonna go on a date, have a nice dinner. I'm coming back here before going out to meet with him, and so I'll change and do my makeup all nice and show you all that. But for now, this one is like very casual, just mini golfing, and I don't care enough to put a ton of effort in, but I'm wearing this cute skirt. This is actually shorts, so it's perfect for mini golfing, and then like white tank. It is very hot today, like in the high 30s, and obviously hair sticking to neck is a problem, so I put it up and shows off my new piercings as well, so. Good morning. I've not talked yet today, and it's already like noon. I've had a very chill morning. I had big plans for last night, but they all fell through, and I just had a night, let's say. I will sit down and go over more details just about everything that's happening in my life right now and everything that I'm stressed about. But in the meantime, this morning I need to get a COVID test for my flight on Tuesday, and I'm going to Tompkins Square Bagel to get a bagel and just have like a nice morning, I guess. Try to turn my day around. I mentioned earlier that I'm going to a barbecue in Brooklyn. So my mentor back in Calgary, actually, her daughter lives here in Brooklyn. So my mentor is in town for the weekend, and her daughter's hosting a barbecue. So I'm gonna head on out there and have a fun afternoon for my last Sunday in the city. And then I have plans tonight, the same ones I got canceled last night, got moved to tonight. So I'm excited to get my day rolling. It's already like 3 p.m. and I haven't done much. So I'm happy to pack my night. There may be a lot of background noise in this clip. I have my AC blasting because it's so hot this weekend. I have my dishwasher running, so if you can't hear me very well, that is why. But anyways, I got all dolled up tonight because I am going on a date, meeting up with Chase. The plans that I had last night that kind of fell through, that end up being pushed tonight. I will have to sit down before I leave. Honestly, there's so much going on right now. People don't really realize it, but it actually does take a lot to like film these clips and edit them. So the more I film, it kind of just takes away from everything else going on, and it's a pretty busy and stressful time period in my life. So that explains why I'm not showing a lot, but I really am trying to film as much as I can and document it. But we'll have a full sit-down chat probably tomorrow. But for now, I'm going out tonight and gonna enjoy my last Sunday night in the city, I guess. So I'm wearing this dress that I got at a boutique here. It's like very soft and flowy, deep V. Feels very like summery, beachy vibes, you know what I mean? I think it'll be good to go to my Greece trip as well. Just very loose and fun. Officially my last night in this apartment. I don't know what happened. The summer just flew by and it makes me so sad. But life moves on to bigger and better things. I have some visa updates that when I get back from my day, I'll sit you down and kind of go over where my life is at right now. But as of now, I have a couple last meetings today. They're like for my new job. They're not like official, like I'm not working today, but I just have a couple of things to iron out before I leave tomorrow. So going out to Midtown, and then I'm going to Tiffany's because last year at a golf tournament I won, back in Calgary, I won like a $500 gift card to Tiffany's, and I kind of knew I'd be going to New York, so I held on to the gift cards because I'd rather buy something at Tiffany's in New York than Tiffany's in Calgary. So I brought them all this way, and I promised myself on my last day I was gonna go to Tiffany's, use the gift card, and treat myself to something nice. So I'm excited to do that after my meetings. And beforehand, I'm going to head off to Majuri right now, which is like another jewelry store, but it's a bit on the cheaper end. So get like a couple more pieces from them. I order from them online all the time, and they only have one store, and it's in New York, and I have not been yet. So kind of like shopping, treating myself a little bit, and then packing frantically all night because I have not even started, and I brought a lot of stuff. Okay, I have so many updates. The first being, I have barely filmed in the past 3 weeks, and everything I have is like a random Mod Podge of like things here and there, but not really explaining what I'm doing. So any interesting footage from my past week, I'm gonna enter in right here. Today is Saturday, it's July 31st. I don't know how the time has gone by so fast. This morning I got brunch with Morgan. It was a very drawn out brunch. It was kind of like a bar hopping brunch. We had bottomless mimosas and kept the day going, I guess. Now it's about 3 p.m. and it is the most gorgeous weather I've had in my entire trip here so far. The humidity's low, the heat is up, the sun is high, so we got changed into our bathing suits. We're gonna head to Central Park and just tan and chill for a little bit, and I'm really excited. I'm still filming on my phone because my camera is dead at the moment. I've been so bad at keeping up with this vlog thing, but it's the same day. I went to Sheep's Meadow, had a beautiful afternoon of tanning, and now we are heading out to hit the nightlife. So crazy to think it's almost August 1st. I do not know where the time went, but we're gonna have probably a long night tonight. just some general life updates. That job that I was interviewing for, I ended up getting the position. So I have a full-time job here now, and it is either out of New York or London. So I was given the option to pick between the two, and I've had such an amazing experience here in New York, and I've always loved the city, and it's a little more predictable to me, closer to family, not as big of a time change. And don't get me wrong, London would be amazing too, and I'm so lucky to be in a position where I have the option. But just at this stage in my life, being this young, New York is where I want to be, and it's a little more fun in that way. So I could always have the option to move to London a bit later on, but for now I'm deciding to go forward trying to apply for a visa here in the States. That is a whole long, complicated process. The type of visa I'm applying for is a TN visa, which is a NAFTA-specific agreement between Mexico, Canada, and the United States. So this type of visa is granted at the point of entry. So I have to be flying into the US to get the visa. And originally my plan was tomorrow, the day that I'm out of this apartment, I was going to fly from Toronto and then turn around a couple hours later and fly right back to New York. So basically do a day trip and apply for my visa that way. But unfortunately, just with some backlogs at work, HR wasn't able to get the paperwork finished fast enough. So I had to cancel those plans, which leaves me with my life being so up in the air and crazy right now. I'm going to Greece and Italy on a little trip that I have had planned for a while, since even before I got to New York. And that is for the last 2 weeks of August, running into September, which means that by the time they have the paperwork, I will already be there. So I'm now applying for my visa first week of September. If that happens, I'll be having to fly into the States, apply for the visa, and then look for an apartment right then and there, because my job's going to start around the second week of September. So either my visa gets approved and I get to stay here in New York and I'll be apartment hunting and all that fun stuff, or it gets declined, and if it does, I still have London as an option. And being a Canadian citizen, we're still part of the Commonwealth, and it's really easy to get a youth mobility visa if you're under the age of 30. So that is a quick application, and if I get declined from New York, I'm moving to London. So honestly, I don't know how I got this lucky to be in such an amazing position. I get to live in either New York or London, which is crazy to me coming from Calgary. I never thought my life would look like this, and I'm very grateful. But at the same time, there's a lot of stress attached to it. So it's kind of why I haven't been filming the past month. I've just been trying to soak up my time here because it might be my last. And also it's just kind of this weight over me, not knowing where I'm going to be living in a month from now. And being such an organized, straight and narrow person, I want all the details, I want everything figured out, but I just kind of have to sit around and be okay with the uncertainty right now. So that's my update, and that kind of explains what's going on in my life right now without going into too much detail. I am flying out of New York tomorrow, flying back to Calgary, and I'll be in Calgary for a week before heading to Greece and Italy. So either way, my life is kind of bouncing all over the place right now, and it is fun and exciting, and I am excited to be back home and see my friends and go golfing and all the stuff that I have missed the past 2 months here. So that's my update.